Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at your life and felt like you're running but not moving, like you're trying but nothing is changing, like time is passing but you're standing still? Because if you're honest with yourself, you know exactly what that feels like. You wake up with plans, you go to bed with excuses, you promise yourself tomorrow will be different, but tomorrow looks a lot like yesterday. And year after year, your dreams stay on the shelf. Not because you're not capable, not because you're not smart, not because you're not talented, but because something is holding you down. Invisible chains, quiet habits, comfortable lies. You don't lose your future in one big mistake. You lose it in small decisions made every day. You don't wake up one morning stuck, you slowly drift there. And here's the hard truth. If you walk into 2026 carrying the same vices you carry today, you will walk into the same problems, the same disappointments, the same regrets. Because your life does not change when the calendar changes. Your life changes when you change. Comfort feels good. That's why it's dangerous. It wraps around you like a warm blanket on a cold morning. It tells you to stay in bed, to hit snooze, to wait a little longer, to take it easy, to not push so hard, to not dream so big. And slowly, without you noticing, it starts making decisions for you. You stop waking up early. You stop chasing the goals that scare you. You stop challenging yourself. You stop believing you can become more. Not because you're weak, but because comfort is persuasive. It makes staying the same feel safe. It makes growth feel risky. It makes effort feel unnecessary. Comfort convinces you that you deserve rest when what you really need is discipline. It convinces you that you're tired when you're really just avoiding discomfort. It convinces you that you're fine where you are, even when your soul is screaming for more. And you listen, you choose the couch over the gym, the phone over the book, the excuse over the effort, the familiar over the unknown. At first, it feels harmless. One day of skipping, one day of delaying, one day of choosing easy. But days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, months turn into years. And one day you wake up and realize you're living the same life you were 5 years ago, same habits, same problems, same dreams still waiting. Comfort doesn't ruin your life in one big moment. It erodes it quietly. It steals your edge. It dulls your hunger. It softens your urgency. You forget what it feels like to want something badly. You forget what it feels like to fight for something. You forget what it feels like to push past your limits. You start settling. You accept the job you don't love. You stay in situations that drain you. You tolerate mediocrity, not because you want to, but because it's easier than changing. Comfort teaches you to tolerate instead of transform. And the worst part, comfort never tells you it's the enemy. It tells you you're being smart. It tells you you're being patient. It tells you you're being realistic. It tells you to wait until you're ready. It tells you to wait until the timing is right. It tells you to wait until you feel confident. So you wait and life keeps moving. Opportunities pass. Moments disappear. Chances expire. And comfort keeps whispering tomorrow. But tomorrow keeps turning into never. Growth is uncomfortable. It hurts to wake up early when your body wants to sleep. It hurts to train when your muscles burn. It hurts to study when your mind is tired. It hurts to start when you're scared. But that pain has a purpose. That pain is building you. That pain is sharpening you. That pain is preparing you. Every version of yourself that you admire was built through discomfort. Every breakthrough you want is hidden behind effort. Every level you dream of is guarded by resistance. Comfort wants you to stay small. Growth demands that you become strong. Comfort wants you to blend in. Growth demands that you stand out. Comfort wants you to be average. Growth demands that you be relentless. You can have comfort or you can have progress. You cannot have both. The moment you choose easy, you trade your future for temporary relief. The moment you avoid discomfort, you delay your destiny. Your life will never rise above the standards you are willing to live by. If your standard is comfort, your ceiling is low. If your standard is growth, your potential is unlimited. You were not born to survive. You were born to become. And becoming is uncomfortable. It stretches you. It challenges you. It exposes your weaknesses, but it also reveals your strength. Every time you choose effort over ease, you win. Every time you choose discipline over delay, you grow. Every time you choose action over comfort, you evolve. The life you want is not waiting in comfort. It's waiting in the work. Excuses sound reasonable. They always do. They come dressed as logic. They speak in calm voices. They make you feel understood. They tell you you're tired. They tell you you're busy. They tell you you're overwhelmed. And for a moment, you feel relief. You feel justified. You feel protected. You feel safe from responsibility. But that safety is a trap. Because every excuse you accept today becomes the wall that blocks your future tomorrow. Excuses are not accidents. They are choices. You choose to believe you don't have time. You choose to believe you're not ready. You choose to believe it's too late. And with every choice, you walk one step farther from the life you want. You tell yourself you'll start next week. You tell yourself things will slow down. You tell yourself life will give you a break. But life never slows down. It only moves forward. And while you're explaining, others are executing. While you're waiting, others are working. While you're planning, others are becoming. Excuses make you a spectator in your own life. You watch people chase their dreams. You watch people take risks. You watch people change. And you tell yourself you're different, that your situation is harder, that your path is unfair, that your timing is wrong. But struggle is not unique to you. Everyone is busy. Everyone is tired. Everyone is afraid. The difference is what they do anyway. Excuses give you permission to stay the same. They tell you it's okay to quit early. They tell you it's okay to lower your standards. They tell you it's okay to settle. And slowly your fire fades. You stop believing in yourself. You stop trusting your ability. You stop expecting more from your life, not because you're incapable, but because you've trained yourself to retreat. Every excuse is a rehearsal for failure. The more you say them, the easier they become. The easier they become, the faster your dreams disappear. You don't need more time. You need more honesty. You don't need better conditions. You need better discipline. You don't need motivation. You need commitment. Your future is not built on explanations. It's built on execution. And the painful truth is this: no one is coming to save you. No one is going to force you to work. No one is going to push you to improve. No one is going to hold you accountable. That responsibility is yours. Every morning you choose who you become. You either choose effort or you choose excuses. You either choose growth or you choose comfort. You either choose discipline or you choose regret. Excuses feel good in the moment, but they taste like disappointment later. They steal your confidence. They weaken your self-respect. They shrink your world. You begin to doubt yourself. You begin to wonder if you're capable. You begin to believe maybe you're not meant for more. But that belief was built on lies. You told yourself you're not stuck because life is unfair. You are stuck because you've accepted your own stories. The stories that say you can't. The stories that say you shouldn't. The stories that say you're not enough. Those stories are not truth. They are fear in disguise. The moment you stop explaining and start executing, everything changes. The moment you stop negotiating with your goals, you start moving. The moment you stop feeling sorry for yourself, you start building yourself. Your dreams are waiting for your actions. Your future is waiting for your courage. Your life is waiting for your decision. No more delays, no more stories, no more self-betrayal. Because excuses don't protect you. They bury you. Fear doesn't arrive loudly. It slips in quietly. It sits beside you. It speaks softly. It tells you to be careful. It tells you to slow down. It tells you not to risk too much. And you listen because fear sounds like wisdom. It sounds like protection. It sounds like common sense. But it's not. It's a cage. Fear makes you question yourself before you even try. It makes you doubt your ability before you test it. It makes you shrink your dreams before they even breathe. You imagine failing. You imagine being judged. You imagine being laughed at. So you stay where you are, not because you want to, but because you're afraid of what might happen if you move. You tell yourself you're being realistic, but deep down, you know you're hiding. You watch others take chances. You watch others step forward. You watch others become bold, and you tell yourself they're different, braver, stronger, luckier. But they're not. They're just willing to be seen trying. Fear convinces you that embarrassment is worse than regret. It convinces you that failing is worse than never starting. It convinces you that staying small is safer than becoming powerful. So you play it safe. You stay quiet when you want to speak. You stay still when you want to move. You stay invisible when you want to be seen. And every time you do, a part of you disappears. You stop trusting yourself. You stop believing in your voice. You stop expecting greatness from your life. Fear feeds on hesitation. The longer you wait, the stronger it gets. The more you delay, the louder it becomes. It reminds you of every mistake you ever made. It reminds you of every time you fell short. It reminds you of every time you were rejected. It tells you that you are not enough, and after a while you start believing it. You forget that courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to move anyway. You forget that confidence is built through action, not waiting. You forget that every strong person was once terrified. Fear never disappears on its own. It only grows in silence. It grows in comfort. It grows in avoidance. It grows in delay. The more you run from it, the more power it takes. And one day you wake up and realize your life is smaller than your dreams, not because you lack talent, not because you lacked opportunity, but because you lack the nerve to try. Fear turns possibility into fantasy. It turns ambition into imagination. It turns potential into regret. It convinces you to settle for the job that doesn't inspire you, for the life that doesn't excite you, for the version of yourself that doesn't fulfill you. It tells you to be grateful for what you have. But gratitude should never replace growth. You can be thankful and still want more. You can be content and still chase better. You can be scared and still move forward. Fear tells you to wait until you feel ready, but readiness is built in motion. Fear tells you to wait until you feel confident, but confidence is built through action. Fear tells you to wait until the timing is perfect, but perfect timing is a myth. There will always be reasons not to try. There will always be voices telling you to stay small. There will always be doubts whispering in your ear. But your future is louder than your fear. Your dreams are stronger than your doubts. Your potential is bigger than your hesitation. The moment you step forward, fear loses power. The moment you take action, fear loses control. The moment you choose courage, fear loses its grip. You are not meant to live in the shadows. You are not meant to hide your ambition. You are not meant to live wondering what could have been. You are built to rise. You are built to risk. You are built to become more. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a test. And every time you face it, you grow. Every time you challenge it, you get stronger. Every time you walk through it, you discover who you really are. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the story fear keeps telling you, and you don't have to believe it. Discipline is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't seek applause. It doesn't demand attention. It shows up quietly, early in the morning, late at night, when no one is watching. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. It's getting up when your body says stay. It's working when your mind says rest. It's pushing when your emotions say quit. And most people run from it because discipline is uncomfortable. It asks more of you than you think you have. It demands consistency when motivation disappears. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. Motivation waits for the mood. Discipline creates the mood. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire. Discipline is the reason some people rise while others remain stuck. It's the difference between dreams and reality, between intention and achievement, between wishing and becoming. Discipline is what you do when no one is forcing you. It's the workout you finish when no one is counting, the book you read when no one is watching, the work you do when no one is praising. It's the standard you hold yourself to when it would be easy to lower it. Discipline is saying no to distractions, no to shortcuts, no to comfort. It's saying yes to effort, yes to growth, yes to responsibility. It's choosing the hard path because you know where the easy one leads. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't ask if you're tired. It doesn't ask if you're inspired. It doesn't ask if you're ready. It only asks if you're committed. Commitment is what builds momentum, and momentum changes everything. When you build discipline, you build trust with yourself. You start believing your own promises. You start respecting your own word. You start seeing yourself as someone who follows through. That confidence is earned, not given, not imagined, not wished for, built. Day by day, choice by choice, rep by rep. Discipline is what turns chaos into order. It creates structure. It creates focus. It creates direction. Without discipline, effort is wasted. You start strong and fade fast. You try hard and quit early. You dream big and act small. Discipline keeps you moving when the excitement wears off, and it always wears off. Discipline carries you through boredom, through frustration, through doubt. It keeps you steady when life shakes you. It anchors you when everything feels uncertain. Discipline is the quiet strength behind every great life. It's what builds strong bodies, sharp minds, unbreakable character. It teaches you patience. It teaches you resilience. It teaches you self-respect. Every time you choose discipline, you tell yourself you matter. Every time you show up, you prove you are capable. Every time you push through, you become stronger than yesterday. Discipline doesn't change your life overnight. It changes your life over time. It compounds. Small choices stack. Small wins grow. Small efforts build something powerful. You don't wake up disciplined. You become disciplined. One decision at a time. One sacrifice at a time. One moment of courage at a time. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It doesn't promise easy. It promises possible. It doesn't offer comfort. It offers growth. It doesn't give excuses. It gives results. When you build discipline, you stop waiting for life to change. You start changing it yourself. You stop hoping for better days. You start creating them. Discipline turns potential into power. It turns dreams into plans. It turns effort into destiny. Action is the moment everything shifts. It's the step you take when your heart is pounding. It's the move you make when your hands are shaking. It's the choice you commit to when your mind is full of doubt. Action is louder than fear. You can think forever. You can plan endlessly. You can prepare for years. But nothing changes until you move. Ideas don't change lives. Intentions don't build futures. Dreams don't become real on their own. Action does. Action is uncomfortable. It forces you into the unknown. It exposes you to failure. It puts you in front of judgment, but it also unlocks everything you want. Confidence is not something you find. It's something you earn, and you earn it through action. Every time you do the thing you're scared of, you grow. Every time you step forward instead of hiding, you strengthen. Every time you choose courage over comfort, you build belief in yourself. Waiting feels safe, but it keeps you stuck. You wait for motivation. You wait for clarity. You wait for the perfect moment. But the perfect moment never comes. It's created by movement, by effort, by commitment. Action gives you feedback. It teaches you what works. It shows you what doesn't. It sharpens your instincts. You don't learn by watching. You learn by doing. You don't build strength by thinking about lifting. You build strength by lifting. You don't become brave by reading about courage. You become brave by facing fear. Action turns uncertainty into experience. It turns anxiety into momentum. It turns doubt into direction. The first step is always the hardest because it breaks the pattern. It breaks hesitation. It breaks procrastination. It breaks the habit of waiting. Once you start moving, everything changes. Your energy rises. Your focus sharpens. Your belief grows. Momentum takes over. And momentum is powerful. It carries you forward when motivation fades. Keeps you going when things get tough. It reminds you that you are capable. Action builds identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who wants. You start seeing yourself as someone who does. You stop telling yourself one day. You start telling yourself now. You become the person who shows up, the person who tries, the person who commits. And that changes how you walk, how you speak, how you think. Action rewires your mind. It trains you to trust yourself. It teaches you that fear is not fatal. It shows you that failure is survivable. It proves that you are stronger than you think. Every move you make makes the next one easier. Every risk you take expands your courage. Every challenge you face builds your resilience. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be willing to look foolish, willing to fail, willing to try again. Action doesn't wait for permission. It creates opportunity. It opens doors. It attracts allies. It reveals paths. The world responds to movement. It rewards effort. It respects courage. If you want change, you must become change. If you want growth, you must move toward it. If you want a different life, you must take different actions. You are not stuck. You are standing still. And the moment you move, everything begins to shift. Action is the line between wishing and becoming, between dreaming and doing, between who you are and who you could be. You don't find confidence. You build it one step at a time, one risk at a time, one decision at a time. Consistency is not exciting. It doesn't feel heroic. It doesn't make headlines. It doesn't give instant rewards. It's quiet, repetitive, unnoticed. And that's why most people quit. They want fast results. They want quick wins. They want overnight success. But real change doesn't happen overnight. It happens in the ordinary days, the boring routines, the small choices. Consistency is showing up when you don't feel like it. It's doing the work when the mood is gone. It's staying on track. When no one is watching, it's keeping promises to yourself. When it would be easier to break them, anyone can start. Very few can continue. The beginning is exciting. The middle is exhausting. The end is earned. Consistency is what carries you through the middle. It's the workout when progress feels slow. The study session when results aren't visible yet. The effort when motivation disappears. Consistency is choosing the long road, the road with discipline, the road with patience, the road with persistence. It's trusting that small steps add up. One page a day becomes a book. One workout at a time becomes strength. One decision at a time becomes character. You don't see the change right away, but it's happening under the surface, in your habits, in your mindset, in your identity. Consistency builds momentum, and momentum changes how life feels. Things get easier. Confidence grows. Doubt fades. You start moving without forcing yourself. What once felt hard becomes normal. What once felt impossible becomes routine. Consistency trains your mind. It teaches you patience. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you resilience. It shows you that progress is not about intensity. It's about persistence. It's not about how hard you go once. It's about how long you stay. Consistency turns effort into results. It turns practice into mastery. It turns struggle into strength. Most people stop too soon. They quit when progress is slow. They quit when it gets uncomfortable. They quit when it gets boring. But growth lives in the boring. Success is built in repetition. The same actions, the same standards, the same discipline. Day after day, you don't rise to your goals. You fall to your habits. And consistency builds habits that carry you forward. It turns discipline into identity. You stop forcing yourself. You start becoming someone who just does it, someone who shows up, someone who follows through, someone who keeps going. Consistency builds trust with yourself. You stop doubting your ability. You stop breaking your word. You stop quitting on yourself. And that changes everything. Your confidence becomes real. Your belief becomes solid. Your mindset becomes unshakable. Consistency gives you control. You stop relying on luck. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop hoping for perfect conditions. You create progress. You build momentum. You shape your future. The life you want is not built in a moment. It's built in 1,000 small choices. It's built in the mornings you show up tired. The evenings you keep going anyway. The days you don't feel like it but do it anyway. Consistency is not glamorous, but it's powerful. It's the difference between wishing and becoming, between starting and finishing, between potential and reality. Every great transformation was once a small habit. Every success story was once a daily routine. Every strong person was once someone who refused to quit. Consistency doesn't demand perfection. It demands commitment. It doesn't require talent. It requires discipline. It doesn't need motivation. It needs decision. The decision to keep going. The decision to stay focused. The decision to show up again, even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when no one notices, because the results will, your life will, your future will. Consistency is the quiet force that changes everything.